Hello and welcome into the AOC Malta Cyber Series Master Tournament between Edge and Washed Up Kids. I am Alex Magical Voice, joined in by Ender. How are you doing tonight, Ender?
Well, I get to hear your wonderful voice for the next couple of hours, so I think I'm doing just fine.
Oh, I wish my voice was as wonderful as it normally is, but sadly still fighting off that lovely, lovely cold. But we are really getting quickly into these picks and bans right now, as they've been flying through. Tom Ken, Shyvana, and Akali all banned by Edge away from Washed Up Kids, and we've seen the Poppy and Aurelia banned away by Washed Up Kids on the side of for Edge.
Yeah, and the big standouts here, it has got to be the Shyvana as well as the Akali. Shyvana, the jungler for Washed Up Kids, Bandicoot, has been putting in a ton of time on that champion, as well as the Rengar, one of those other assassins that got changed around a little bit, so maybe we'll see that in this game, unless Edge lock it in first. Wow.
Yeah, right now Rengar is a very strong pick for the assassins because he can still build tanky, but then deal just an immense amount of damage. So that's why you still tend to see a lot of Rengar's pick, even in the meta that's more favored towards tanks, though the assassin rework came out.
Yeah, he's theoretically an assassin, but he can build tanky, as you were just talking about. And I really do like that draft choice from Edge right here. They came in with an absolute plan, ban away the Shyvana, and then first pick the Rengar, because Bandicoot, as soon as he saw the Shyvana banned, well, he's like, okay, well, we can first rotation the Rengar, we can take that one away for ourselves, but when it gets stolen away, you got to resort to your secondary or your third best picks.
Yeah, so it's gonna and Mumu too is gonna be what is locked in. I kind of do like that against the Rengar because that brings a lot of CC in order to really lock him down if he does try to jump onto your carries.
You can't lock him down though; he just ignores it.
That's just true. He does have the CC removal, so but you have to time it right. If you get the bandage toss and then you wait for what is it, 4 seconds of CC immunity? It's ridiculous.
It's quite a bit.
Yeah.
It lasts for 1.5 seconds and then lets him be immune for another 1.5, so 3 seconds, I believe.
Okay, but that's still a long time of being immune to CC.
Oh wait, no, it's just 1.5 seconds, and you can only get the immunity when it's full stack. So just double checking that. There's a whole bunch of changes, preseason updates that you do have to keep track of. So it's only 1.5 seconds of CC immunity.
Yeah.
And there's already
I love the Alistar pick. Sorry to just interrupt that. But the Alistar pick, for many people don't realize that he actually got a small rework as well.
True.
And so he has actually more CC that he's actually able to bring to the table with this trample. If he gets the 5 stacks of trample stacks, which is a weird name for it, but then he's allowed to get a stun that deals additional bonus damage and stuns him for 1 second on top of his headbutt pulverize.
Yeah, it basically accentuates his strengths and took away some of the areas that made up for his weaknesses. He's going to have less sustain in the lane, as that E ability did get changed over to his passive, and now he has something else to offer other than just this amazing combo that he can start off fights with. He's going to be able to actually continue to lock up members throughout the course of a more extended trade.
So I kind of like the change to Alistar, honestly. I think it is a lot better for him. And you said that it removes a lot of his sustain in lane. And honestly, I don't feel it did that much because it made it so that he would run a lot faster with the heal before. But now he gets a free heal every so often, every time he stuns people up or there's minions dying around, which always happens. So he ends up being in a better spot overall, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does feel a lot better on that champion, and it's really interesting seeing these two team compositions coming through right now, because for Edge, the biggest issue when you take an assassin in the jungler, because typically you see these junglers that are very CC heavy can start off fights very easily and soak up damage. You need to have other champions on your team that can back you up and can start off fights. Well, that's exactly what they pulled together from their top laner and their support. The Maokai as well as the Alistar can start fights immediately. You have the backline threat of a Rengar and then the sustained DPS from an Ezreal and a Ryze. So a very balanced team composition from Edge, which is what we expect from them. They're one of, if not the top team in the league right now at the moment, have been undefeated through groups, and Washed Up Kids are going to have to try and challenge them.
And they're going to try to challenge that with a grand challenge coming from Fiora. So that is a very interesting pick to see locked in on the side of washed up kids, we're gonna definitely see them trying to at least bully back, fight back in these lanes. And I do like the Vayne pickup. They have Ventus on that Vayne, which is going to be really good into this tank meta. That's why Vayne has been such a prevalent pick, especially recently, is because she can burst through a lot of these tanks with her silver bolts, doing the true damage instead of just having to worry about attack damage and having the armor block it. So
Yeah,
I like that.
Right, the Vayne does also do historically well into the Ezreal pick. Think back when Iceborne Gauntlet was the dominating build on Ezreal. Now you can switch it up for Trinity Force, but Vayne does provide that true damage. Going to be very, very strong in this game, and especially when paired up with a Nami. The sustain in the actual lane from a Vayne Nami is going to do very well up against the Ezreal Alistar, whereas those guys over on Edge's side, they're going to favor those all-in trades with the new and improved Alistar. Washed up kids, they're just going to be trying to get through this lane phase, and they will do just fine with that range support.
Yeah, they're going to do pretty decent with the range support. The one thing is, I've always seen traditionally Alistars be able to bully around Namis, because Nami is very squishy, and Alistar loves to get on top of anyone who's squishy, deals a pretty decent amount of damage just with base damage, gets them locked up, as well as able to soak up any damage that is dished out back to them, which makes it a perfect setup for Panda Opie on that Ezreal, where he might be able to get rid of Nami right away.
Yeah, the classic trade-off when you have a ranged versus melee. The melee is going to be looking for those all-ins, and that's exactly what Alistar wants. Whereas on the other side, they just want to sustain through. So definitely have their tools to make the laning phase work, and it's just a matter of execution when it comes down to it between the two duo lanes down there in the bottom half of the map.
Yeah, so we also didn't talk much on this Ziggs pickup on the side of Oxide. Ziggs I've been seeing a lot more prevalence in lately. He does bring a lot of good poke to the table that a lot of teams do want in order to try to fight against these assassins, make it so that you poke them down, whittle them down, so they can't even engage upon you. But that is still a problem, is Ziggs is very squishy with limited escape. He does have the satchel charge, but it's not the best and most reliable form of escape.
Yeah, he's not looking to be a dominating force in the lane or anything like that. It's just about stalling out the game, giving time for your Vayne to scale up, and to allow your Fiora to activate in a split push scenario, because the Fiora is going to do fantastically up against the Maokai. The rest of Washed Up Kids, they don't need to look for fights. They just want to play by their turret and let Van Cleef do his job all across the map in those side lanes. Now, the issue that arises with that is that they're up against a Rengar and a Ryze, two champions that can go all over the map in just half a second. So it's going to be very difficult, and Van Cleef is going to have to play phenomenally in a split push scenario, because it's going to be very hard to judge how far forward he can walk, because if Washed Up Kid or Picklesore ever disappear into the fog of war, it is going to be a very, very dangerous scenario for Van Cleef.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see. But really quickly, before our game does load in, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors: AOC Gaming, Go, Malta Tourism Authority, esportsgaming.bet, Miney, GT Omega Racing, and the Gamers Lounge. Without them, we wouldn't be able to bring this tournament to you guys. And also all the guys behind the scenes, all the admins that are helping us bring this to you. Thank you so much for the work that you are putting in.
Yeah, just gonna be able to now check out the load screen, you know, all that great stuff that comes with it. The new masteries, see who's taking Courage of the Colossus. My prediction is that it'll be up on Maokai in the top lane on the Alistar. I don't think too many champions in this game. Oh, Amumu, that would be another great one to use it on. Anyone that provides that hard crowd control, hard lockdown, pretty much going to enjoy that pickup.
Yeah, right now, I think Courage of the Colossus is one of the most broken keystones at the moment. I mean, they tried getting rid of Strength of Ages, being like, oh, we want to make it so there's not an OP keystone out there, and they put that into the game. Interesting choice by Riot, but it's still the preseason, probably going to get toned down soon, and then not be quite so dominant. But it's still, right now, we're going to see it pretty much all over the place whenever someone has any good CC.
Yeah, well, the nice thing I do think is that it gave tank supports another option, but the issue that arose with it is that all the junglers are still taking the same keystone, and then pretty much a lot of the top laners that would be taking Grasp the Undying typically have switched up to take that Courage of the Colossus as well. Armia is going to be running that one in this game.
Yeah, that not surprising at all, because it actually doesn't matter how many people you stun up when you try to go for that Courage of the Colossus shield. It matters how many people are nearby when you see that target. So
Yeah.
Maokai, especially on Armia, he's going to be looking for those hard engages with all 5 members around. He's going to get this massive shield and just be this even worse tank than he already was before.
Yeah, pretty much. That's going to be the name of the game for these guys.
So we are loading in onto the Rift. And Ender, would you like to do the honors of introducing the first team?
Absolutely. It's going to be Edge over on the blue side with Armia up in the top lane. Washed Up Kid. He's not part of the Washed Up Kids, but he is one nonetheless in the jungle. Picklesaur on mid lane. Panda Opa at AD carry. And Caitlyn Snow on support.
And then on the red side, we have the Washed Up Kids. In the top lane, we have Van Cleef. In the jungle is Bandicoot, the mid laner, Oxide 404, and the bot lane duo of Null Ventus and Rumandu in the bot lane.
Yeah, and just typical 5-man spread from both of these squads. Not going for any of those fun little bush tactics you might see in the bottom lane, looking for control over that. Any invades like that? No. We're just playing it pretty safe right here. No early invade onto a Mumu, which is one of those common strats that you see quite a lot. And Washed Up Kid, he's got to be a little bit careful in this early game. Rengar, before he gets some levels in him, before he gets some items, is pretty squishy, can be punished a little bit. But Bandicoot, at the same time, not going to be doing too much. These are two very much farming heavy junglers, going to be looking for that level 6 before they really start to make those huge plays in the lanes.
Yeah, very true. Especially for Washed Up Kids, he wants to get to the thrill of the hunt. The thrill of the hunt really gonna make those ganks even more impactful and make it so that he can bring a lot more to the table. And he can gank still, especially in the bot lane with Caitlyn Snow on that Alistar. But he'd rather have that easy initiate with the ultimate.
Yeah, and with both junglers starting on the bottom side of the map, it really does speak to these teams and how they are looking to win the game. They both need to impact this top lane because they recognize Washed Up Kids, they want to get Van Cleef ahead. They want him to be able to go into a split push and really punish onto Edge. At the same time, Washed Up Kid, he knows that he needs to protect Armia for this early game.
Yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see how everything plays out when we can look at the ganks, when we look at the paths right now, because all of it is spelling towards this early gank and counter gank in the top lane. But look at this, in the bot lane we have Caitlyn Snow, not afraid. I talked about the Alistar not being afraid to start engages, especially against Anami. I always see Alistar as a good counter to Anami because he's so tanky and she's just so squishy.
Yeah, well, also they do get the level 2, first of all. You see Ventus and Rumandu just now reaching that breaking point for the lane, and Washed Up Kid, he is here.
Yeah, he's here. He wants to stop Bandicoot. You really want to put Mumu down if you can. The smite coming in from Bandicoot, but now Washed Up Kid's kind of in a bad spot. Does get the bullet strike, and going to use that blast gun to escape the jungle.
That's a little bit cheating right there. Washed Up Kid doesn't have to use the flash to escape. That's one of those great things about being in the preseason, but now Bandicoot, this is the top lane gank we were talking about.
Yep, there it is, and that would be they got the flash out of Armia, which is really good. You want to get that out of him. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a repeat gank coming into the top lane, because now that Armia is at a disadvantage, it would be a really easy lane to gank.
Yeah, Bandicoot, he is not leaving that tri-brush at the moment. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, the plant.
The Skyre's bloom right there. Really good use of that on the side of Washed Up Kid. He angled that. He's like, he might be in the tri-bush. This will reach there. Let me just spot this out for you. Did spot him out. Really helps Armia.
This isn't going to be a confusing game at all. We have Washed Up Kid versus the Washed Up Kids. Oh boy, that's gonna be hard. Maybe we just call him Kid. I don't know. It's gonna be a hard one to keep track of in the middle of team fights. Washed Up Kid goes huge, except they just got aced or something like that. That wouldn't be what we want to say.
No, it'll be confusing. Not sure how we're gonna put that out, We might have to just call him a kid or something. That might be the easiest way to go about this.
Yeah, Bandicoot is not leaving this top lane. Even with all the wards, he has still not quite been spotted out. And wrapping around now, he will be seen, and it's just going to end up being a lot of wasted time, I feel.
Oh, but here he is going for the gank. Is he going to get the bandage toss up into there? I did miss the bandage toss, so not going to be able to get that. And Armia is trying to put a little bit back on to Van Cleef. And we have Caitlyn, so he does get the lockdown onto Ventus in the bot lane, but wasn't able to find any more kill pressure there. But they do get a decent amount of damage on to Ventus.
Yeah, and right now I believe the CS between the two junglers is a little bit misleading because Bandicoot took both the Raptors as well as the Krugs. His CS count looks a lot higher than Washed Up Kid's, but Kid, we're going to call him, he is actually doing just fine. He's actually winning in experience because he is invading, getting a lot of good vision down, stole away those wolves, and now trying for the Grump.
Oh, Armia might look for a dive onto Van Cleef. Yeah, he's going for the dive. He's going to get the first blood. Diving him under tower. He will die to the tower shot, but picking up that first blood.
Yeah, and I do believe that actually benefits Van Cleef. He will miss a fair amount of minions to the turret, but he has the teleport. He will be able to get right back into that lane. It's going to be a close call between those two players. Looks like Armia's up 400 gold when all is said and done, but a lot of that too comes from the CS lead he's managed to acquire in the lane. Van Cleef possibly playing it a little bit less than ideal right there, because we talked about how this matchup should be a good one for the Washed Up Kids and how it really does need to come online if they want to win later in the game. Utilizing the Fiora in a split push, it's just not working out quite as well as they'd like it to at the current point in time.
Yeah, this might just speak to how good of a player Armia is on that Maokai, doing a really good job of trying to bully around. He has quite a CS lead at this stage of the game, up 10 CS, and it's only 6 minutes in, doing a really decent job for himself to try to bully around Van Cleef the best he can.
Yeah, and Van Cleef did hold on to the teleport, so it will be the advantage over to Armia 100% due to taking that first blood up in the top lane. A trade, and he is still down a flash. So the Summoner spell advantage way over to Van Cleef. But he does have to be careful. And now Bandicoot's playing on the opposite side of the map with the spawning of the blue buff and Edge. They know where he is 100% because he just was spotted out by that nicely placed control ward from Kid.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I hate the name control ward. Why they couldn't just leave it vision ward and change what it did?
Because it doesn't provide, or it does provide vision, but it controls the vision. It controls the vision. Regular wards provide the vision, man.
It's just confusing. And now we see Caitlyn Snow wanting to get that trampled stack on. Oh, here comes Bandicoot. Is he going to be able to get the bandage shot? Does hit on to Caitlyn Snow. They got a decent chunk of damage. Flash forced out of Caitlyn Snow. Now Panda Opa. He is the target. He's going to get stunned into his own tower. He uses the flash and the heal just in the nick of time to keep himself alive. Now they're going to put it back on. Here comes Kid. Kid does get the stun onto Bandicoot. The flash burned out of him, but there is the jump. There's the double kill coming in from Kid. It's not going to be 3. They do get the third one onto Rumandu. As Van Cleef and Armia, they fight it out in the top lane. The Vengeful Maelstrom being used. There's a lot of damage onto Van Cleef. Armia is he won't be able to fight this one out. That Van Cleef, he might want this. He smells blood and he wants to try to put this back. Ooh, has to be careful though.
I really think he could have gone a little bit further forward. The flash was just barely still on cooldown from Armia, but Edge winning out across the board, getting 3 kills down there in the bottom lane. Just watch the kids pushing too far forward.
Yeah, Van Cleef, he wants to fight this. There's a flash from Armia. Is Van Cleef? Yes, he is. Van Cleef barely surviving that one.
And the patience right there, the calm, cool, and collectedness of Van Cleef not to use the flash of his own. Just staying alive in that lane, although he is getting punished heavily, down 30 CS, and up against the very damage-heavy build from Armia. Double Doran's Ring, now getting all the components he needs for a Sunfire Cape. That is going to be a very, very challenging lane to win out in. All across the board, it seems Washed Up Kids are taking the loss.
Yeah, and not to mention that Kid, he got himself 2 kills in that bot lane. That means he has bonus attack damage because of the new Bone Tooth necklace. So it is up 3 + 6% bonus AD for him right now. he's actually going to be doing even more damage when these ganks come around, when that Thrill of the Hunt is back off cooldown.
Yeah, whenever you do kill one of the those unique champions, just like the Bounty Hunter Mastery, you do get the increased damage just on Rengar due to his necklace. And now we've got the lane swap coming through. Even though Edge were winning in their respective lanes, they recognize that they knocked out the first turret, and now Bandicoot has to be careful.
Bandicoot using the Curse of the Sad Mummy, trying to keep himself alive. Oxide does want to help out his team using those bombs to zone away the rest of Edge, but all in all, not a really good thing to lose that Curse of the Sad Mummy.
Yeah, but it's better than losing your life, I think Bandicoot
Sure.
and the rest of us can all agree upon. It's just gonna be a rough situation. I do think that the washed up kids actually do come out on top when these lane swaps do occur, because now they've actually sent Oxide up into the top lane, given a little bit of range, just to be able to farm simply. And mid lane is going to be rough for Van Cleef. I'd have to say it's to be expected, though. He was going to have a rough time no matter where he went. But the big win for washed up kids is that Ventus is not going to be really punished at all for farming out in a side lane. And since Van Cleef has been having a tough go of things, maybe they need to change around their focus, change up who they're going to be looking for to carry come late game. And Null Ventus, on that vein, is definitely a prime candidate for that job.
Yeah, and that's, like you said, having Ventus against Armia is really good, because Armia is going to be that tank, going to be trying to have a lot more health, which actually benefits Ventus in this matchup. Not only does he have the range advantage, but then having just the advantage of the silver bolts is going to be absolutely monstrous. And letting a Vayne free farm is never something you want to do.
Yeah, especially when Ventus can freeze the wave, which is exactly what we're seeing. The only issue being that now, because Oxide is up in the top line, the wave clear is completely gone to protect this middle lane tower. And Edge, that you can already see them rotating on down, getting control over this topside jungle, because they are up so much here. Continuing to apply the vision down means that they're going to exploit Oxide up here.
Yeah, I mean, ooh, they're looking for the dive. Here goes the dive onto Oxide. Ooh. They get it onto Kid, getting that third unique kill that he really needs on that Rengar, and he's just gonna be scared. Here comes Bandicoot. They want to try to put something back. Curse of the Sad Mummy. He's not off cooldown yet. Van Cleef being taken very low. He does drop to Armia, as that is a clean dive coming in from Edge.
Not sure if that was a clean dive or turning it around onto them when they pushed a little bit too far forward. Armia's tanking this tower.
Oh, he's tanking the tower. That's gonna.
Oh! He's dead.
He does drop. And I'd consider it a dive. They did get turned around, but they decided to turn around while completely under the tower still.
So brutal here. Edge putting down the pain everywhere. Even though it's a 1-for-1 right now, they did pick up the kill on Van Cleef, so it's an advantage there, as well as this turret that they're going to collect on 6,000 gold at just 12.5 minutes. Edge, you know, we said that they were the clear favorites coming into this match, coming into the tournament. They looked very dominant, but this much at this short notice into the game is a little bit of surprise, honestly, to me. Just really crushing the game from a macro perspective, from lane to lane to lane. They have been dominating over the washed up kids.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd consider it too surprising. We even said they're a clear favorite, and they've shown that they are very dominant, especially in the early game. In past games, we've watched them. Their early, mid, and late game have always been on point. They rarely have a game that is looking like it's a close game. Every game we've seen them so far has been pretty much a stomp coming in from their side. Yeah,
pretty much, and they're not even letting up on the pressure 1 second. As soon as they knock out all those outer turrets, they turn their attention towards the Mountain Drake, just going to be able to allow them to continue the siege, to pressure onto neutral objectives as this game progresses on forward. Ventus has to be so careful down here, because Edge, they realize once again that they do not want to allow Ventus to have the free farm. Armia, though, he's in enemy territory.
Yeah, Armia he's not caring too much.
Oh, the flash!
Flash and try to get himself out of there. The Ventral Maelstrom, making it so he can absorb a lot of that damage too. But look at this. He's not even backing down. He's still staying really far up, not caring where he's at. He's not even that tanky yet, and he just doesn't care.
And the effect that this has on your mentality, if you're one of the players for Washed Up Kids, is absolutely devastating. Because it's 14 minutes in, you just have to go for it.
Mummy. There is the knock away by Caitlyn Snow. Here comes the tidal wave trying to help engage. But Caitlyn Snow, he's doing a great job in taking this up. Rumandu forced to flash away as Ventus, he's trying to do what he can and poke down. But there's a fight going on in the mid lane too. Van Cleef was engaged upon by Armia. Here comes the bomb from Oxide. Doesn't get too much damage and does save Van Cleef.
Yeah, well they do, but they don't save the turret down there. Oh, Washed Up! Bye-bye.
Absolutely monstrous on this Rengar, and he was looking. He flashes in aggressively, looking for Ventus. Is he going to be able to get the kill? The Silver Bolts keeping him at bay, but they do pick up the kill on to both Bandicoot, and there goes the kill on to Ventus. Oh, pop the Vengeful Maelstrom. Might look for the dive. Nope, not looking for it. But here comes Van Cleef. Van Cleef's a little too far up.
No way.
Urge of the Colossus. Oh, he does pick up the kill on to Kid, but he drops himself. Kill going over to Panda Opa.
Yeah, but just look at this. The pressure is absolutely unrelenting from Edge. They have 5 turrets at 15 minutes. They were about to tap on the inhibitor tower.
Gold. 10k
You
gold.
you can't tell me you expected Edge to be this far ahead at this point in the game. This is just ridiculous from them. And Washed Up Kids, they can't even do anything. They're restricted to being in their own base. They don't even have the chance to allow their composition to even try to scale up, because Edge aren't giving them any breathing room whatsoever. You know, usually you see teams that are in the lead choke out the opponent. Well, you know, Washed Up Kids, they're on the ground trying to tap out, and no, Edge will not give them a second of respite.
So I'm gonna tell you one truth and one lie. You gotta decide which one's the truth
Okay.
and which one's the lie.
That's not how the game is. 2 truths and 1 lie, but that's okay. I'll let you go.
Two
with it.
truths. Okay, I'll throw in another.
Okay.
I like to play Galio jungle.
Okay.
I think that Edge is gonna win this game, and I totally predicted that they'd be up almost 10k gold at 15 minutes.
Well, I know you like Galio jungle, and you already said you predicted Edge to win, so there we go. I think we figured it out.
So here comes the engage. Pickle Sword looking for the kill on the Van Cleef. Van Cleef trying to use the repose. There we go. Why did I say repose? Repose. Trying to keep himself safe. Now he's running into enemy territory, and he's probably going to be able to get out. Yeah, okay, he's going to be able to as the engage comes onto Bandicoot. They do have the Curse of the Sad Mummy locking up both Washed Up Kid and Caitlyn Snow. Here comes a bomb. Takes Washed Up Kid really low, making him use both heals on himself to keep himself relatively healthy.
I mean, they just don't do any damage whatsoever. This Rengar has 0 HP built up. I'm pretty sure Panda Opa is tankier than him at this point in the game. And there you go. The last turret, minus the ones in the base of Washed Up Kids, has been erased off the map. And, I mean, the only thing left for them to take is the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Get all the objectives you possibly can, because you're so far ahead. You might as well.
Yeah, they already took the hopes and dreams of the Washed Up Kids. Might as well take everything else that you can while you have the chance. Bandicoot, I mean, is this objective really worth even going for a steal?
Well, he's going for it. He's going to see if he can get the steal. Is he going to be able to get it? No, he does not get the steal, and he does drop Kid, picking up that kill and getting him. They gave the Rift Herald over to Kid as well.
Hey, why not? And well, Kid, he only needs one more unique target, and that's Van Cleef. And with the Rift Herald, the dueling going to be that much stronger for him. But I don't think that was going to be an issue, sitting with 5 kills at the moment, going for that pure lethality build right now. So much AD built up by him already. And he's out farming the top laner of the Washed Up Kids right now. 82 to 81 CS between him and Van Cleef. I just keep pointing out every single advantage I can, because there's really nothing else to do. It is all wins, all check marks for Edge, and Washed Up Kids, they're left with nothing.
Yeah, they really are being strangled out. Not even 20 minutes. They don't even have the chance to surrender if they wanted to. So, it's going to be really interesting to see how things play out for the rest of this game, and it would be nothing short of a miracle for Washed Up Kids to come back at this point.
A miracle indeed. Oh, Ventus, he's gonna need a miracle.
Yeah,
oh boy!
Oh, he does.
Nope.
CC on him, hits the condemn, but that CC immunity coming in from Rengar is just, it's too strong.
Just not really fair to deal with when you're a poor AD carry, sitting at 0-3-0 up against a quite fed Rengar. It's just not a fun day for anyone if you're an AD carry main. Ventus falling right there, and I believe it's another Mountain Drake in 10 seconds, so congratulations, Edge. Ending the game is just going to be that much easier for you.
Yeah, and if you are washed up kids, you really have to look at this game. Luckily, it's a best of 3. You do have a chance to come back in and try to play another one. And you look at the strategy that was brought in by Edge. You have to look at how you can kind of stop them, how you make it so that they don't have this. But the problem with Edge is they've shown such dominance through this whole tournament. You really do need to try to find ways to almost cheese them. You need to cheese them in order to truly be able to win. Do the Russian style, get the Alice Knox cheese tactics going in. That's the only way you can bring down the Korean teams. The Korean team being Edge in this one.
Yeah, well, the difficulty is that in a best of 3, that means that they can't lose any more games. If they drop this one, they have to win 2 in a row. And how many cheeses can you actually bring? I mean, these guys, they're Maltese, they're not French. They're not gonna have all the fromage. And the Baron is going down just 20 seconds after it rears its ugly head on the rift.
Wow, that was burned so fast too. Like, I've seen it go fast when there's a Callista, but that was unbelievable. And they're looking for the engage. Here comes the Realm Warp from Picklesword. They wanted to be able to pick up a target, but really smart play by Washed Up Kids, backing off the moment they saw Rengar's ugly face appear over one of them.
Yeah, and just, I mean, where do Edge go? That's all we're gonna ask right here. They're going straight up towards that top inhibitor. Washed Up Kids are not even contesting it. Look at this.
But can you? They've proven that they can dive towers about 15 minutes ago, and this is only a 21-minute game.
Oh boy, it is just kind of gross to watch this game unfold right here. It is pretty unfortunate. They weren't able to close it. Oh, but here we go.
Armia going in, and I talked about that shield from the Courage of the Colossus being just absolutely monstrous. They take out the tower. Van Cleef is, Van Cleef was trying to get in there. We saw Ventus in the back line being dropped himself, and now Van Cleef, he's on the wrong side of his team, having to walk the long way around. They do end up losing this. That was weird.
That's he's a left, or he's a minimap user. He accidentally clicked on the minimap when he shot out the true shot barrage right there.
Got it. Okay, because I saw him fire backwards, and I was just like, what just happened?
Never lucky right there. A little bit unfortunate, but I mean, I don't even think he needs an ultimate. I don't think anyone on Edge need their ultimates to win any upcoming team fights right now, because they just knocked out the top inhibitor just a moment ago, and they just regroup, buy up, and get ready to do the same thing again bot lane.
Yeah, pretty much. Honestly, I said this before.
The hunt.
Gonna say this. Oh, here comes Kid. He wanted to jump up on to Oxide. Are they gonna go for Bandicoot? The hunt is still there. He does get the jump. Look at that damage! Just being absolutely monstrous and getting all the free leaps that he needs to from all the nearby bushes. Armia is the one who gets that kill.
That is just ridiculous right there. That's a full tank of Mumu. Granted, he's about 2.5 items behind Kid at the moment, but he's basically just crushing through his HP bar. We need a moment of silence for Washed Up Kids after this game.
Yeah. It's definitely a brutal one, this one, but it is also a learning experience. People don't always see like games like this as being a learning experience, but when you go up against a team that is really mechanically great, like we do see from Edge, there goes poor Vroomandu. As we see Washed Up Kid fighting Van Cleef by himself, here comes a redemption trying to keep him alive, give him a little bit of heal. Van Cleef is gonna fall.
That's the true shot barrage.
See, he predicted it too early. That's what it was.
He was about 70 seconds too early last time around, but that's gonna be all 3 inhibitors going down, and that should just be the game.
They want to get Bandicoot. They just want to pad their KDA right now. Armia, she's taking up the fountain, not even caring. They do get the kill on the Bandicoot. This is gonna be game number 1 going over to Edge against the Washed Up Kids.
Yep, that's going to be the hunt popped and the Nexus at the same time. Oxide, good night.
Poor Oxide. Yeah, they just padded the KDA at this moment. Here goes Ventus. Ventus is probably going to, flashing back into the fountain so he doesn't give one more kill over to them.
not too much you can say about that one. Just over a 24-minute end time there. 19,000 gold in the lead. A complete shutout minus those 3 kills that the Washed Up Kids were able to pick up. And we talked about it. They need to pull out something ridiculous if they want a shot in this game, because in this series rather, because you have to win 2 in a row, and going conventional did not work right there.
No, it really didn't. And the problem being now is, what do you change in your bans? How do you fix the pick and ban phase in order to make it so Kid does not get that Rengar? The Rengar, I think, was definitely one of the pivotal moments for them. But another one was honestly Armia on that Maokai. We saw how tanky he got, how hard he was for them to deal in lane, and even Van Cleef, who had the matchup with Fiora into Maokai, was struggling in that matchup.
Yeah, well, one benefit that the Washed Up Kids will have is that they will be over on the blue side with the opportunity to pick up Rengar for themselves, but Edge might just ban both the Shyvana and the Rengar away, make sure that Bandicoot will not be on any of his comfort champions, because the Amumu didn't really have that much of an impact. No. It's hard to put the blame on him, because across the board, Washed Up Kids just kind of got pushed on out, but maybe if they can put him on something that can try to carry the game a little bit more, they might have a better shot in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I really do think that'd be a little nicer to see a Bandicoot on something that's a little more carry focused. He does like to carry the team. When he's ahead, his team tends to be ahead. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they adapt the pick and bans. But I would not be surprised if, like you said, Edge decided to just take the ban themselves and ban the Rengar themselves, so that way Bandicoot doesn't get it at all.
Yeah, and we are going to have to take a quick little break here before we do get back into Game 3. We'll be back, and we'll see if Washed Up Kids can bounce back and find some way to push this to a Game 3. Don't go anywhere.
All right, pick up the game.
Yeah! Go! Pass the ball! You can look at the ball and walk backwards. You see, that's how you do it.
Watch TV anywhere for free on 4G. Now that's something worth shouting about.
What if we could change the way we see the world? Rediscovering ourselves through the people we meet and the moments we share. Each experience, every encounter, changes our perspectives, leading us to live life our own way. Money my way.